Vincent van Gogh was a Dutch post-impressionist painter whose works later became widely recognized and became one of the classics in art history. Here are some quotes and stories about Van Gogh, as well as a brief introduction to his life and artistic achievements. Here are some quotes from Van Gogh. "I threw myself wholeheartedly into my work and lost my mind in the process. I often think that the night is more vibrant and colorful than the day. For my part, I know nothing, but seeing the stars makes me dream. What would life be like if we didn't have the courage to try anything? Without yellow there is no blue and no orange. If a person really wants to survive, he must work hard and dare to work. Love many things, for that is where the true power lies, and he who loves much manifests much and accomplishes much more and does well in the things he does in love. I wish they would just accept me for who I am." As we advance in life, it becomes more and more difficult, but it is in the struggle against difficulty that the greatest strengths within are developed. The more I think about it, the more I understand that there is nothing more artistic than loving others. Love always brings difficulties, that's true, but the good thing about it is that it gives energy. Don't quench your inspiration and imagination, don't become a slave to the model. But I have always believed that the best way to know God is to love many things. How can I be useful? What service can I be? What is there within me? What could it be? Even if you make more mistakes, keep your spirits high rather than being narrow-minded and overly cautious. In my life and painting, I can do without God, but I cannot suffer as I have nothing greater than me. That is my life, the power of creation. Painting is a belief that imposes an obligation to ignore public opinion. If youth are just vanity, isn't it our ambition to become men? An artist need not be a clergyman or church warden, but he certainly must have a warm heart for his fellow man. I saw drawings and pictures in the poorest huts and in the dirtiest corners. I experienced periods of terrifying clarity during those moments when nature was so beautiful. I am no longer sure of myself. These paintings are like in a dream. If you hear a voice inside you saying, "You can't draw," then by all means draw, and that voice will be silenced. I dreamed about painting, and then I painted my dream. I'm still far from where I want to be, but with God's help, I will make it. The way to understand life is to love many things. There may be a fire in our hearts, but no one ever comes to warm it, and passers-by only see wisps of smoke. No matter what, I will get back on my feet. I will pick up my pencil, which I gave up in my extreme frustration, and I will continue my drawing. Painting has its own life, derived from the soul of the painter. Fishermen knew the sea was dangerous and the storm scary, but they never found these dangers a good reason to stay ashore. Conscience is man's compass. A man may have a blazing hearth in his soul, but no one ever comes to sit by it. Passers-by only saw wisps of smoke coming from the bacon and then moved on. Poetry is everywhere, but putting it on paper, alas, is not as easy as looking at it. Even knowing I'm fallible doesn't stop me from making mistakes. Only when I fall do I stand up again. What people should listen to is not the painter's language, but the language of nature, the feeling of the thing itself, because reality is more important than the feeling of the picture. If a person masters one thing and understands one thing well, then he has insight and understanding of many things at the same time. Welcome to subscribe to my channel. Luck and love are with you. Vincent van Gogh was born on March 30, 1853, in Zindert, a village near Breda in the province of Noord-Brabant in the southern Netherlands. Most of the locals were Catholics. He is the eldest son of Anna Cornelia Carpentus and Theodorus van Gogh. He has 2 brothers and 3 sisters. His father Theodorus is a clergyman of the Dutch Reformed Church. Van Gogh's mother was born into a wealthy family in The Hague and married Van Gogh's father in May 1851. She was a deeply religious person who valued her family. Van Gogh's grandfather Vincent (1789–1874) was also a priest. He received a degree in theology from Leiden University in 1811. Van Gogh's name Vincent came from him. 3 of Van Gogh's 5 uncles were very successful art dealers. Van Gogh's father had a good relationship with these 3 uncles and uncles who were art dealers, and they often talked about art together. Therefore, the family in which Van Gogh grew up already had a deep connection with religion and art. Van Gogh's father's salary was not high, but the local church gave him a house and sent him a maid, 2 cooks, a gardener, a horse and carriage. His mother also emphasized to her children that his family belongs to the local upper-class society. As a child, Van Gogh received tutoring from his mother and governess at home. His mother cultivated his interest in painting. Vincent van Gogh was a Dutch post-impressionist painter. He was a pioneer of expressionism and deeply influenced 20th century art, especially Fauvism and German expressionism. Van Gogh's works, such as Starry Night, Sunflowers, Wheatfield with Crows, etc., are now among the most famous works of art in the world. He was voted the 10th greatest Dutchman in 2004, behind the 9th greatest 17th century painter Rembrandt. Van Gogh began his education in 1861 and performed well in learning languages including French, German and English. However, he interrupted his studies in March 1868 and became an intern at the International Art Dealers Company in July 1869. After a brief working career, he became a missionary to poor mining workers. Van Gogh did not begin his career as a painter until he was approximately 27 years old. However, during the last 10 years of his life, he produced approximately 2,100 paintings, including approximately 870 oil paintings. In his early days, Van Gogh only worked with gray tones until he met the Impressionists and Neo-Impressionists in Paris. Van Gogh incorporated their bright colors and painting styles to create his unique personal style, which matured especially during his time in Arles, France. Most of his most famous works were created during the last 2 years of his life, during which time Van Gogh's works were ignored and he fell into mental illness and poverty, which eventually led to his suicide at the age of 37. The central figure in Van Gogh's life was his younger brother Theo, who continuously and selflessly provided financial support to Van Gogh, and the two also maintained correspondence throughout their lives. There is a theory that the painting The Red Vineyard sold by Van Gogh during his lifetime was also purchased by his brother through a friend. Van Gogh's works profoundly influenced subsequent artists, and his expressionist painting style became one of the opportunities for the development of art in the 20th century. Art historians and critics have conducted in-depth studies of his works, trying to understand the emotions and ideas behind his unique way of expression. His quotes and artwork have become classic examples of how people express their deepest emotions. Van Gogh's persistence and love for art inspired the subsequent generation of artists, making them realize that art is not only a display of skills, but also an exploration of inner emotions and philosophy of life.